7th through 12th astrology.
Good morning, everybody. We're just about ready to go live. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and YouTube.
Okay, there we go.
And we're going live on the radio, so let's do this.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. What radio? Oh, on 216?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Metaphysical Meanderings with Master Psychic Lana Duncan Hartgraves. Lana's been a that's easy for you to say. Lana's been a practicing psychic for 25 years and has gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She is an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. This week, we're going back to Astrology 101 to get houses 7 through 12 and the House of Lilith, you said. Fantastic. Well, let's do this.
Anybody that knows me right now, we're in Mercury in retrograde. Now, I've been talking about it for years. And, even up to not even 10 years ago, I bet I didn't even really realize what it was. Well, we're in Mercury in retrograde, and it's through the 22nd. And my Mercury in retrograde, this is how my Mercury in retrograde is going. So I come back from, we bought a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Down the street.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, there's a reason I'm mentioning that.
That nice Dodge or what?
Yes, we did. Got a Dodge Ram, to haul horses and all that. Yeah. Anyway, so I get home from here and I find my cat's been attacked by a coyote and laying nearly dead. And yeah, he's okay. So I'm dealing with that, and then we're driving. So later in the week, I find out that my granddaughter's half sister has SARS and she's in a coma. She is doing okay. No light, it gets better. So then we drive the Dodge Ram for a day, not even 24 hours, and the light goes off. And so,
oh my God.
And then, see, I'm laughing about it now. Right. It'll all pass. I think you guys need to realize that it'll all pass. Right, so don't, So if you guys are having a bad Mercury retrograde, I got another one. Then I had my review at work and it's been backed up 4 times because paperwork's always messed up, right? Yeah. And technology, and it wouldn't download. Yeah. So then, then we got a diagnosis. We have a real serious health problem within the family, and I'm going to probably be caregiver. So I got that diagnosis today too. So there you go. So yeah. So I'm praying really hard that this Mercury retrograde just passes now. Yeah. And you guys, if you don't believe in Mercury, hi Emma. If you don't believe in the Mercury retrograde, you guys pay attention because it's all real. It's very real. So I've had a couple other things happen, but it ain't worth mentioning. It's like this. It gets like this, Yeah. So, yeah. So needless to say, what I'm doing is because we went through the first 6 houses, and I'm going to do the 7th to 12th house, and then I'm going to talk about Lilith. Because Lilith is like its own little... It's in your chart. So when you go to look it up, and I still say, I got to put the link to Astro Cafe. I've actually emailed them and they said that I could have a link so that when they get hits that I help them out and all that good stuff.
Nice.
So yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the 7th through the 12th houses so you understand where they're at. And when people are reading you and people are laying out your charts, some of these planets and some of these houses are in transit so that you understand means they're moving from one to the other. So if you ever have like one where there's somebody's like, well, right now your 9th house is in transit, you'll understand because I have 6 of my houses are in transit right now. Ooh. So yeah, and who's getting ready to retire? See, they don't think that this is not true. I don't care. It's so funny. Emma's like, sounds like you had a rough week. I'm okay. Honestly, it could be worse. It could have been my family. Sure. It could be my cat is much better. I've been nursing him back to health. Well, you know what? Talk about that 9 live things because he's already, that's his 4th. But you could see, honestly, it was really gross because you could see where it tried to grab him from the back and it tore, it shredded. He had stitches all, it was horrible. Goodness. I thought for sure Saturday night he was dead. So, and it was upsetting because you know how one animal like controls your household? Well, it's my cat, not my dogs, not my horses. It's my cat. Anyway, So back to all this. It'll be okay. I have to, you know what? Honestly, when you get to a point when you realize that stuff, you start laughing because it's like,
okay, bring it on.
Yeah. Like,
what's next? Yeah,
exactly. It'll pass. Yep. It'll be all right. It's got another week left.
This too shall pass.
That's right. This too shall pass. I say that all the time. Yes. Yep. Okay. So back to the houses. So we did 1 through 6, and as a really, really quick review, I write all this down. You guys, you know that, right? So that I have a script. I actually have a script. So your first is your ascendant. That's your rising sign. I'm a rising. I'm a Cap. And then your descendant sign is what I'm going to talk about today too. That's your opposite house. I think the 1st to the 7th. But anyway, your descendants. And then we're also going to be talking about your, what is it? My mind is gone. See what I'm saying? Whenever I'm like, your, 8th or 9th house. We'll be going into that in a second. But anyway, so that you understand it. All right. So now, getting back to the 7th. So the 1st was your ascendant. Then you got your 2nd was your material life. Your 3rd is your house of siblings. Your 4th is your childhood home. 5th is creativity. 6th is Virgo. And it's your daily life routines. So now to the 7th. Okay. Hi, thanks, Paulette. Thank you. Hi, guys. I'm answering people off of the net on here. The 7th one is the descendant sign. It's your descendant. Remember I said your ascendant sign? Right. Now the 7th is your descendant. So it's controlled by Libra. So, and anybody know anything about Libra? Libra, it's, the sign for Libra is the justice symbol. Right. Because they have a fine sense of justice and the need for justice at all times. So you're looking at this. It talks about who you'll marry, why you marry, what things you're wanting in a relationship. And do you ever meet somebody who just goes through relationship after relationship? Yeah. It's in their house. It'll appear in the 7th house in their chart because they're too picky. They want a certain thing a certain way because it's Libra. Libra's like that. It's like that. It's very structured. So that will actually appear when somebody does these charts. That'll appear in there, and they will say to you, I bet you've been married once. I bet you've been married twice. I bet you can't find the right person to marry, right? It has to do with that need to find the right mix of cocktail of person, you know? So anyway, and it talks about balance. Remember balance, balance. So it has to do with all of your relationships. So the 7th house is your descendant sign. Okay. How you interact with other people, how your awareness of others. It relates to what you're looking for a partner. We got that. Depending on what you're looking for, and your planets will affect it. Okay. Because if there's Uranus in this house, like when you're born, it'll say Uranus. So look these up, go to astrocafe.com. It'll give you all of it. And what it does is Uranus affects stability and instability. So if you've got a Uranus in your 7th house, I bet you don't have a relationship that works. I bet you're going through relationship after relationship after relationship. Okay. So you understand that's where, hi princess. That's where we get the stuff from astrology, and it's funny because I'm going to go over one, and I have a friend that does astrology that she's learning. I'm still learning. I'm starting to get to a point where I can talk to somebody and tell you what sign you are. And people are like, how'd you do that? I said, because that's what you sound like. That's what you are. And oh yeah, you're right. Cause I just had somebody call last week and I guessed them. And they're like, oh yeah. So, also these houses, they really play a significant thing. The first thing that really woke me up for this is the fact that somebody said to me, and one of the houses coming up here is about your mother, or you're the dominant person in a relationship. And she goes, well, they have to be a Scorpio, right? And I'm like, my mother was a Scorpio. And I'm like, she was the dominant person in my household because my dad wasn't always there. So I'm like, wow, that was accurate. And she goes, oh yeah, it shows. And she showed me where it was. She goes, oh yeah, it's a Scorpio. So pay attention to all these. Okay. So your 8th house, we're going to go down to the 8th house now. Okay. Your 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, and it has to do with sex. Okay. So rules birth, death. Okay. This is what they call it. Rules birth, death, sex, and transformation. Okay. They call it the house of sex, death, and taxes. So how you'll die, when you'll die, how you view death, all of it's in this 8th house. So when you go to your 8th house, look for it. So I can guarantee. So if you're like a Capricorn in your 8th house or something like that, or maybe you're a Mercury in your 8th house or something like that, you may be very logical and very down to earth, because Capricorns are. Yeah. So do you see how that works out? That's how that makes sense. Okay. So, and the 8th house deals with transformation. My 8th house is in transit. My 6th house, my 8th house, my 10th house, my 12th house. I mean, I am in a major once in a lifetime right now for me. Now, I know out there you guys are too. Okay. Hi, JD. Okay. I'm telling you, pay attention. Look, and also when you go to Astro Cafe, if it's not this, I stand corrected, but it also lists transits, because one of the, and I thought it was Astro Cafe, but one of the websites lists transits, and because mine popped up and it had like a page of transits, and I'm in transit. So, and I know that. And like I said, there's one major planet, and I believe it's Neptune or Uranus. I may be corrected, so you guys might correct me. Anyway, is in transit, and that's what's affecting everything else, because it's so significant. Once in a lifetime, every 85 years. I thought it was Neptune, because Neptune makes an orbit every 85 years. Wow. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So it also deals with your intuition, your healing, your ability to heal. It's also the house of regeneration. And it reveals the secrets of your soul and how you really feel about stuff. Oh. So honestly, I've done people's charts when I want to know more about them, because I did one on somebody recently, and I'm like, I found out some stuff. I was like very surprised because I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. And once you get into this, and eventually I'm going to teach you guys how to do this astrology stuff as I learn it better. I'm knowing it. I'm starting to know it really well, but I have a lot to learn, because this is like a whole lifetime of learning to do with astrology. Okay. This isn't something you learn overnight. Trust me. Okay. So, sometimes we fear the 8th house. The 8th house has to do with your death, how people view you also. Like, like attractiveness, or, because it has to do with death, sex, and transformation. Sometimes you're scared to death of a transformation and you're fighting it. Because I just talked to some people that I am mentoring, and they're scared to death. I had one person call me this week, and maybe he's listening. I won't say the name anyway, because I've been mentoring him, and he calls me up. We had a long conversation, and remember we've talked about this, because you're a deacon of a church, and you know what I'm saying, and you're okay with me. Yeah. Because he wasn't. And he's like, well, I was praying because, he belongs to a very, very strict sect of Christianity, that what I do is I'm a devil worshiper. And so, that's what they teach. And even though I showed him all the places in the Bible that says that this is a gift from God. Yeah. So anyway, and he didn't know, and he calls me, he goes, I had an epiphany last night. And I said, well, this is the time, there's a transit going on, that we're all having epiphanies right now. And he goes, I'm sorry, because I was praying for you. I go, well, I can always use the prayer. Thank you. Absolutely. And he goes, no, but I was praying that you would see the evil in your ways. And I go, really? And he goes, and now I see it was the evil in their ways. That's what he said to me. And I told him, I said, and I'm talking all about him. And I told him about his life path number and stuff like that. I told him he's a 6. He looks it up. He goes, oh my God, there's something really to this stuff. Cause he goes, my wife's been into it for a while. And he goes, my eyes are open. And I said, I don't care what religion you are. I think that we all need to follow our own path. Yeah. And if you're being I'm a Gnostic Christian, and Jesus said, know thy own truth. That's all I have to say. I don't have any judgments on anybody. So with that said.
And for everybody around the world, just take note of that. Yes. It'd be a much better place if we all just said,
it's okay, you believe that. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? For you, yeah. I'm honestly, Kent, I had a hard time for a while with people who are atheists. because I'm like, I can't believe how blind you are. But you know what? That's where they're at.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
They're in that house.
You can be spiritual and be atheist.
Sure.
So I just kind of go, okay, I'm okay with that. I had to get to a point where I was having a hard time with that a little bit, but that's okay. I'm okay with it now, because I'm worrying about myself, and that's what we all should be doing, right? Okay. So anyway, back to the 8th house, it reveals the secrets of your soul. I mean, that's why when you really look at somebody, you need to look in all these different houses. It's going to tell you things.
Interesting.
Okay. Another thing that 8th house does is, how does your soul develop in this lifetime? In your 8th house, it would tell you if you're a religious zealot. It will say it. You will pick it up in whatever house is in there, or whatever planet's in there. Like if I were, for instance, picking up a Sag in your 8th house somewhere. Sag is a very intellectual, and education is very important, and spirituality is very important. So they would probably be a leader of some sort in a religious way. So you could be very well. I'll have to look at your chart. I bet you could easily have a Sag in your 8th house. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it also has to do with your obsessions and compulsions. That's why I said this is the house that some people fear, because those things are in this. It'll say that in the way the planets are aligned. Now, everybody understand it. Now, this planet affects us. No. You have to understand, it's a snapshot in time. It's nothing to do with planets. It has to do with time. E equals MC squared. If you understand that this is time, and you chose to come at an exact moment.
Yeah.
People are like, well, no, that's not true, because my doctor induced me. You knew when he was going to induce you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you knew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, maybe when you're born just happens to make who you are. I said, but you're working on certain things when you come.
Right.
And you're going, and you are choosing it. So you have to know when you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
I came up over a month early. I've always been like that, though. I have no patience. So
no, you kidding?
No, me? Yeah. You know what? That's the hardest one to learn, folks. That's the hardest one to learn of all the lessons, is patience. So, hey, I've 31 years I'll be teaching. That's patience. Trust me.
Eesh.
So, yeah.
Or insanity.
Insanity. That too. That too. Yes. So anyway, I'm going to go on to the 9th house. Okay. So the 9th house has to do with spirituality and ruled by Sagittarius. So see, the 8th and the 9th house can be some of these houses are very close together in what they're dealing with, but they're just slightly different.
Yeah.
So the 9th, though, has to do with expansion of the mind, what kind of education you have. It'll say, I could figure it out by looking at your houses, how much education you have, because that's what the 9th house will be ruled by. Okay. Also has to do with traveling. Now my 9th house is in transit also. Everybody keeps telling me I'm going to start traveling. Well, this summer I've got 2 trips planned. I'm retiring. And to be honest, I probably am going back and forth to Florida a lot because of the health problems that are going on in my family. So, and I'm used to it. I live down there half the time anyway. So anyway, I'll be going back and forth. You guys will probably, more than once, you'll see me out doing a podcast from there to you. So
surrounded by palm trees.
Yes, I'm probably outside on the
Lanai.
Lanai, yeah, Lanai.
Lanai, whatever. Lanai is probably one of our listeners.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what. Okay, so your 9th house also controls if you get married again. It's your second relationship. The 9th house will say that.
Oh.
So do you see? And you will see it in the way the planets lay. They'll align, whatever you want to say. Okay. So believe it or not, the 9th house. Now see how we were talking about Libra being in the 7th?
7th, right.
And that you'd think that would control attorneys, right? But more than anything, the 9th house controls people who are in law.
Interesting.
In the 9th house. Isn't that interesting? See how they interrelate, but yet they're not quite the same. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a Sagittarius in the 7th house, and then in the 9th house you had a Sagittarius and you're an attorney.
And you're an attorney.
Yeah, because they have proven that some of this is true because they have done studies, and now they won't tell you. They'll say, these people will say it's a pseudoscience. Correct. But when they've done studies, that by sun sign, 50 to 60% accuracy or more based on what you do for a living according to your sun sign.
That's pretty strong, yeah.
So most people with a Sag are attorneys, teachers, psychologists.
Yeah.
That very, very high number of Sagittarius. And see, I'm not an attorney, but I'm a teacher and I'm into psychology. So
just want to cut in at this time. Speaking of law and things like that, if you've missed any of Lana's shows, go to her podcast out there. You can find it on anchor.fm, where she's at. Spotify, Apple Podcasts seems to be the number one choice for your shows. Check her out, Metaphysical Meanderings. And it's just a great podcast. It goes back, I don't know, since we started last year. Yeah.
So there should be about 40.
We're still adding some. Because we're cleaning them up a little bit, and when we first started about a year ago, we didn't know what we were doing. It was a little bumpy, but now we've got it almost figured out. But please, also, what she does on Saturdays, believe it or not, the station doesn't pay her for this, right? No. So, and she drives about an hour.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Any help that she can get, if you want to donate, help out, she's got a bunch of PayPal.me/Enchanted Sky. Anything helps me out. And I just, I had somebody donate, and it's gas money because it's costing me. So not trying to complain because I'm not. I'm blessed with this. I was blessed with this. She's got a big old hillbilly Jeep. She doesn't have them electric cars, that country girl over here.
Hey, you know what? I'm such an environmentalist, but I have to have my Jeep. I had to.
And the Jeep is very fitting.
Yes. And it fits me. Yeah, it does. Because it's yellow and all that. Right. So anyway, back to the 9th house. It's your spirituality. Okay. This transit is absolutely significant. Like I said, for me, I think what I have realized is that I probably should have left my career a little while ago. I mean, I'm in the process of realizing that I'm still teaching in a different way. So see what I'm saying?
That's true. Very true.
So, and that's, I like my job. I love children. Don't get me wrong. I love my job. So anybody listening out there who works with me, because a lot of people do, I don't dislike my job. Matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you. I like working with kids because they're not carrying as much baggage. And as an empath, I'm not absorbing it all the time, and it's much easier to deal with.
But you just don't find too many people doing 30 years in the same profession anymore.
I've been in different subjects.
Teaching,
teaching, but different subjects. I've taught history, I've taught algebra, I've taught art. That's what I'm doing now for the last 20 of it. Special ed, self-contained, autism. I've done all of it. So I have 14 teaching certificates. So. Yeah, that's a Sag thing though. So here we go again. In my spirit, in my 9th house, I'm telling you, my 9th house is in transit. And I'm telling you that you can see that this is what I was supposed to be doing. Oh. And I'm telling you, and then when we get to Lilith, you're going to find, I'm going to talk about Lilith. So in a couple minutes. Okay. So going to your 10th house. So now your 10th house is the house of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is like, I'm a Capricorn rising. It's tough us being cusps, isn't it? Yeah. What was your birthday again?
Mine's July 18th. Yeah.
So you're going Cancer going into a Leo cusp. And because I would say you're more Leo than Cancer. Well, no, you melt inside. Yeah, you do. But I want to say you got a lot of Leo in you because you're very motivated. Cancers can be like, not motivated because of the emotions, but you are. That's why you're a cusp. Cusps are difficult, you guys. If you don't know what a cusp is, I had somebody recently ask me that on my YouTube channel again. It's somebody that's changing from one sign to the other. So it's usually about the 17th or 18th of any month to about the 23rd or 24th. So you are changing. So you're both and you're neither. And you're the cusp of oscillation. You know that, right?
I don't know what oscillation is.
Well, you know what oscillation means. But anyway, cusp oscillation means you're this outgoing Leo guy. You want to go and go and go. And then you got that Cancer and all those emotions. So you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and that's a Leo. That's the Cancer Leo cusp. Me, I'm the cusp of prophecy, which is completely fitting, right?
Yeah.
And I did I ever tell you the story that on Facebook, I found all of the Lana Duncans in the world. There's 14 of us.
No kidding.
And they've either married into the name or they were born. Well, I found one woman. She was born on my exact birthday 10 years early. earlier with the same name. It was weird. And she writes to me and she goes, so are you a psychic? Out of the clear blue, before she knew me. And I go, yes, I am. And she goes, me too. There's a reason, because it's a birthday issue. Yeah. So anyway, so go figure. But anyway, so your 10th house is your lifetime achievement award. I mean, that's what have you achieved in this lifetime? What kind of, they also call this house the midheaven. Your midheaven, this 10th house is very important. My midheaven is in transit. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Half of these things for me are in transit. Are they in transit for you guys? Hit me up. Look up on one of the websites and ask for transits. It'll give you them underneath, because I found them and I was laughing, because I do have friends. One, her name is Brenda Orthberg. She's out of earthsong.com, which I read there too. Yep. But she's learning a lot. She's more advanced than me as knowing her astrology. Yeah. And she said I was in 6 transits. And when we looked it up, and there's just pages. I mean, there's just pages. And I'm like, yeah.
Baby says Sag Cap Cust here.
Oh, okay, baby. Yep.
Really, I'm having trouble talking.
Yes,
today.
you are. Well, it's Mercury in retrograde.
Sag and Cap Cusp here too.
Yes, then you have to have some ability. And I'm not saying the rest of you don't. I want you to understand that.
We all have it. It's just if we choose to tap into it.
And see, but Sag they're very intellectual. Sagittarius has a tendency to be very highly educated and very intellectual, very psychologically based. Like everything, yeah. Like everybody keeps telling me I should be a therapist, because it seems like I'd be a good therapist. So yeah, I really am a therapist.
What you do, yeah.
Trust me, yeah. So anyway, in your 10th house, it rules this is what some of the stuff it does. It rules your career and your dream job. So you can find this in those, and everybody's like, I feel lost. You need to look at your 10th house in your astrology chart. It'll tell you what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like if you're supposed to be teaching, it's going to pop up in there. And people are like, well, I don't understand. Well, that's where you either you can take some classes, learn it yourself, or go to an astrologer. Now, I can tell, I get my information as a medium, because I'm talking to other people from the other side. I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you get your information. And when you call me for a reading and I feel stuck, and I'll say, well, you're supposed to be doing this, and this is what they say. Yeah. But you can also get information out of the astrological chart. Okay.
Morning, Mary Jane. Cusp.
Capricorn. That's what we were. My Mary Jane, my daughter's the 19th of January. So yeah. Anyway, so this house rules your dominant parent and what you learned and how you were loved and how you deal with people. Remember how you always have one dominant person in your family, and you have a tendency, did you know this, to marry the dominant person's traits by accident. Did you know that?
I can see that.
Yeah, it's true. They've proven it.
I can see that.
Mine was my mother, even though I was close with my father, and I kind of married my dad in a way, but it was my whole relationship in my household was weird. So it was like the dominant person was probably my mother, but yet it was my father. It's really, but I did marry my dad by accident. He's even a Cancer, just like my
personality. Everybody out there listening, we're
talking personality wise. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, just personality.
Oh yeah. If you're cutting in out, you're like, what?
What?
Yeah.
She married her. What?
The traits of my dad.
Yeah. Baby says, going through my transformation. So glad you have these learning videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's following you on YouTube.
I'm getting there. Okay. You're also, your 10th house is in charge of your more nurturing parent too. So however you were nurtured. So at different times, my mom died when I was only 30. And so I had my dad around for another 15, 20 years. Yeah. And it ended up changing do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that in a way they were both, but anyway, this also has to do with your reputation and how people view you. And what significant things did you achieve in this lifetime in your career or out in public? It has to do with all that. It's a very complicated house. Okay. The last few they just are. All right. Yeah. Are you an expert in your field? Have you achieved, or have you been identified as an expert in your field, and are you in transit? I'm done. See what I'm saying? And I am a master. I had somebody say, well, you're bragging. No, I'm a master teacher. I'm registered in the state of Illinois as a master teacher because I got 30 years in. I mean, come on. I'm like, come on, you guys. Rules how you influence others too. How do you influence others? Are you verbally? Are you persuasive? Are you, see, it all is in this house, and it will say that, okay? And it's also included the work you leave after your death. What good things did you do in this lifetime that survive after you're gone? So it's all in that 10th house. 10th house, that is one of the most, and that's why they call it the midheaven.
Sure. And
it's very significant.
That sounds the most biblical too.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
yes. So
do unto others.
Yeah. Stuff, And I got into that discussion too with that young man that was talking to me, that he was like wondering if I was okay or whatever. And, because he said, okay, it doesn't make sense. There's hypocrisy here because in the Bible, the three wise men were astrologers. And I'm like, yes, they were. Well, they say astronomers. I said, it doesn't make a difference. They're the same, basically. Astronomy is the study of the planets, and astrology is just going another step. So I said, but actually they were astrologers because they followed the star because they knew somebody was significant. Yeah. So that was not astronomy, that's astrology. Yeah. So, and he goes, well, that's hypocrisy. I said, no, really? That's all I have to say about that. I'm not saying anything else. Really? Anyway. All right. So the 11th house is the house of Aquarius and Uranus and Saturn. Do you see how significant that was? Those two planets control everything. All right. It's referring to your house of friends. How do you make friends? Okay. How are you dealing with your societal structure? Charity. How do you give to people? It's the actual outcome of your career. Are you going to be successful? How do you work with goals in your social life? Okay. This is an interesting one. In the 11th house, it will say if you have adopted or stepchildren. It'll tell you when you're looking at the chart if you've got them. And so you have to understand, as you understand astrology more, you'll be able to pick that up. And you're like, oh yeah, there's kids. They got extra kids, right? That's where when astrologers are looking, they're not using so much their intuition is looking at the alignment. Yeah. So, wow. Yeah. All right. It's also has to do with your fourth child. If you have a fourth child, you have a fourth child, right? Yes, ma'am. I do not. I have 3. This has to do, your 11th house has to do it with your fourth child and the family and how they deal with the family.
How the fourth child deals with the family.
How the fourth child deals with the family and how you deal with them. It's interesting. Okay. All right. It is, yeah. This also rules philanthropy.
I was the fourth child.
Were you? Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. You should be looking in your 11th house because there's going to be some stuff in there that's going to reflect on how you are and why you've become the way you are. So see what I'm saying? Rules, ambitions, wishes. Okay. Deep desires, wealth, how it manifests. It's interesting. See how the 10th, 11th, and the 12th are really very, very significant. Okay. The 10th to me is huge. And that's where my main transit is, by the way. Okay. Now the 12th house, you got the 12th house. Okay. So this one has to do with the dreams, secrets, and emotions. So what's your dream? Toughest house to understand because it's so complex because of all the emotions. That's why I said that the 10th, 11th, and 12th house are really where a lot of it sits. A lot of everything of who you are and everything. Okay. M. Snyder. I know what she's referring to. I have a lot of followers that are calling me and to call me and to talk to me on islands in the Caribbean, St. Thomas, Micronesia. Anyway, and by the way, now that I'm out of my job now, on Mondays, I've completely changed my whole schedule. So I have more time for all you guys. So call me and make a schedule because I've got a lot more time. And I'm going to be going live on my YouTube on Monday mornings for my European and Asian friends. And on Tuesdays, you can call me right then and there. I'm going to be almost like a psychic line. I figured from maybe in the morning until a little bit in the evening. and anybody can call me. And if I'm busy, I'll say, well, I'm talking to somebody, you're next. And so that way you don't have to make an appointment. You can talk to me. So I'll be online. So I thought that's a good idea. What do you think of that, Kent? That way they can talk right to me.
That's really kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. I kind of thought, well, I can try that and see how that works. Yeah. So if you guys want to try to talk right to me immediately, like you need a pertinent question or you need a reading right then and there, call me. I'm guessing I'm trying to make it long because I'm Central. I've got Pacificers. So Pacific times, and that's 2 hours behind me. So I'm trying to make it so that everybody can get a hold of me. So I'm looking at maybe noon to 8 or something like that, where you guys can still talk to me if you're out on the West Coast. So anyway, just thought I would mention that. So yeah, okay, we're almost done. Okay. So, and then I'm going to open it up. Got a few minutes yet here. Your 12th house also deals with your mental health. Okay. And I know this sounds really bad, but that 12th house can reveal if you're suicidal. Okay. Remember we had one house that dealt with death. That will too. There'll be 2 different signs, and you can see if somebody may opt out. Now, remember, when people commit suicide, they're breaking their contract. They may have written it into their chart to break their contract, but they may not have. So that's why that type of thing is a free will. So I want you guys to understand that. Nobody's judging you. Just saying that it's a free will. And I have yet to see anybody. We're always taught that we'll all go to burn in hell because we committed suicide, and It's not true.
Right.
It's not true because I see them on the other side. Some of them, if you've been mentally ill and you do opt out, you're not going to hell because you're mentally ill. Do you see what I'm saying? And the only time I've ever seen, in all the times I've read, where somebody wasn't there is because if you do it out of vengeance or spite to get back at somebody, you're going back into another lifetime. I don't care what anybody says. You're already back, and because you have to learn that lesson again. And I just have seen that. So that's what I have to say about it. So anyway, okay, this is a the 12th house is very negative. I'm going to tell you, because it also has to do with isolation. It's kind of the dark side of yourself. The 12th house reveals that darkness. All the other houses have this great big beautiful sun, and then you've got that 12th house where you've got your impulses. If you've got if your 12th house has a Jupiter in it, Jupiter's a very, very big planet. It's really, really affects you. And my Jupiter happens to be in Leo. Now that's why I'm bigger than life, because a Jupiter, it just is. If you understand, it's the biggest planet. So fire sign energy in that planet, that in that house, is really going to affect you. Wow. So I got my Jupiter in my planet is my Jupiter is in Leo, and that is why I am the way I am. And it makes complete sense.
Sure.
So, and that was one of my friends who was an astrologer who saw that. So he goes, you must have a fire sign for Jupiter. Why? I said, because you're bigger than life, sort of. And I go, yeah, I do. I am. I know. I try not to be, but I can't help it. Anyway, I go a million miles a minute, Yeah. Okay. So here's another thing. Mars can appear as anger and rage. This is where your house of anger and rage, and it'll tell you where your anger and rage comes from. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at this house is really super. Yeah. Okay. It's Omo. Inbox me for life and future reading. It's Omo. I can try to. Okay, you're off of Facebook. Okay, yeah. All right. I will try. Hi, Julie. Julie's my cousin. Okay, I've got a lot of cousins, and I think that, they're mostly followers because they've seen my accuracy now. Because
there you go.
You ever hear about Jesus and how he said you can never go home because nobody's going to believe you from where you come from?
That's right.
So I had a lot of skeptics, but now they're not. Yeah. So anyway, the last one before I get to anything, because I'm going to go with this, is Lilith. Lilith is so significant, and people don't even understand that. Now, Lilith in Jewish tradition was the first Eve.
Oh.
Lilith was Adam's counterpart. Now, Lilith was made out of the same clay and was the same as Adam, and got sick and tired of him bossing her around, and she took off. She didn't want to deal with him, and she ain't going to take it. That's where you come with the Lilith fair, where empowering women. And then they made Eve because she was subservient. So that is true. That is part of Judaic religion. Okay, that there was an original another Eve on Adam and Eve. So that's where that comes from. Rebellious, powerful woman. Okay, never feels ashamed of anything. She's going to do whatever she wants. Now everybody's got a Lilith. So even if you're male, you have a Lilith, Kent. There's a Lilith in there, and the Lilith is the rebellious side of you. So it's also, they call it the black moon sometimes, or the dark side of the moon also. So that's why you also don't hear many people being named Lilith. Lily, yes, but not Lilith. Right. Because it's kind of like a negative, dark kind of, sort of, but at the same time, very, very powerful woman.
Yeah.
So, which I find very interesting because my Lilith, I'm going to tell you in a minute, because it's just very interesting because I know my Lilith and it made complete sense. But so look up your Lilith. It kind of tells you guys like all really, really cool stuff. So it has to do with your free will, okay? And how stubborn you are. Now, I'm also, and we've talked about numbers, so go back to my podcast and look about your own personal number. I'm an 8, which is the infinity sign. So I'm extremely stubborn and strong-willed.
No.
I know, really? Shut up, Kent. So, I mean, I'm stubborn to a fault because I never say die. I will do something until I am on my knees. And I'm like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. You know? So anyway, but mine's in Pisces. My Lilith's in Pisces. Now, Pisces is a psychic automatically. I'm a Pisces moon. And so Lilith. A Pisces, if you have a Lilith in Pisces, you are automatically psychic. Yep. Every single thing that I do says I'm psychic. I want you guys to look them up. You're going to be shocked when you see some of them. Because I had no idea any of this. I was like, really?
Yeah, it's very
I know that the Pisces, if you have a Pisces anywhere in your sun, moon, or rising, you're a psychic.
I've been scrolling on things since you were talking.
But no, really, you just are. Mm-hmm. And so I've met a lot of fellow Piscean moons, and I go, well, you're a psychic, right? Well, yeah, I got kind of ideas. You don't even know if you've got one of those. Yeah. For some reason, it goes with the territory. It's like a Pisces. You know, I'm not saying Sag isn't. I'm not saying Cancer isn't. I'm not saying, but I'm saying Pisces is automatically a psychic. Okay, and my Lilith is in Pisces. So you're usually a healer. You're probably a medium, and this is exactly, I wrote down and annotated it where I got it from. It says you're probably a medium. And I'm a medium. So, and you translate dreams. I do that. So it's shocking. So I'm like, really? That was accurate. So I'm like, I'm not like bragging. I'm just saying that's what my chart says. So what you guys need to be looking is at those charts. Pay attention to the ones I'm just telling you about. You are, and by the way, if you have your Pisces if your Lilith is in Pisces, you better be careful with alcohol. You have a tendency to be an alcoholic. Ooh. Now I came from an alcoholic family. Mm-hmm. I know better. So I don't drink. I can't really. Family, you too. I can't do it anyway because it raises my blood sugar weird. I can't do it. But anyway, be careful of that. If you've got a Pisces somewhere sitting like that, be careful of alcohol. So they're just telling you. So now you see the 10th, 11th, and the 12th house are like really super significant along with Lilith. And there's a couple other things that I just haven't covered. But I just kind of gave you a kind of a smattering. For
more information, visit www.enchantedSky.com.
Yes.
Now, Mel she says, hey, how consistent is the idea of the 12th house placements being psychic placements?
Is really, Mel, that good question. It's really, really significant. Like those houses are the big ones. And they now remember you're like, okay, so the first aligns to the 7th, the 8th. So it's the 6th house and the 12th house. They're very closely aligned.
There you go.
Because that's how they it's like they're mirror reflections. So 6th and your 12th are very, very significant.
That's cool.
Okay. And remember that your 6th house, right, is your daily life and routine. And yet, the 12th one is your deep, dark secrets. Ooh, put those together. So think about it. They're the mirror reflections.
There we go.
So, okay.
Well, let's open these chats up and comments up for questions. If you've got a question that you'd like an answer to, or just say hello. We can do that, but let's be specific. Just don't go, hey. We are averaging right around 250, 300,000 listeners.
Yep, an episode.
An episode.
And so I just lost Facebook.
A lot of power out there.
I lost my Facebook, you guys. So I apologize. I'm encouraging my Facebookers to, because I'm going to be going live on there, to go to please YouTube, or also 216thenet.com.
There you go.
Okay, let's go. Anybody got any questions? I got a few minutes here. I'm going to, by the way, doing one show, just this. That's what I'm going to do.
I think that'd be a blast.
I know I've got a lot of people. Well, I might as well close it.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people that get on my morning. Yesterday morning, by the way, my fans, sorry, I didn't do a daily. There's some days I need rest. And I mean, I really need rest. And after the week I've had, I needed rest yesterday, so I slept in. So I didn't get up. I normally get up like 6 or 7 a.m. to take care of my animals, my horses and stuff. And my husband did it, so I slept in.
So my daughter Colette, got a new puppy.
Oh,
Ophelia.
Oh, cute.
Are they a good match? Do you think?
Is it a light colored dog?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a little bit bigger?
It will be.
Is it going to be like a lab mix, or is it like a great? It's a bigger dog.
Yeah, it's going to be. She'll be a 40-pound dog or better.
Oh, that ain't big.
Yeah,
I got a 130-pound golden retriever. Because I got horses. I couldn't keep the little ones because they get stepped on. I used to have a 10-pound rat terrier. I had to get rid of her.
It's some sort of hound mix.
It's a hound mix because I want to say it looked Great Danish sort of or something. It's gonna be a big dog. I think it's be bigger than 40.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, So it's a female. I keep seeing a male dog. Okay. This is what I get from. So be careful and make sure that dog knows who's dominant. It's going to try to take over.
Got it.
Okay. So if it needs puppy training and the best, because I've raised hundreds of dogs, and when they're little, you put your hand on their nose and you stare right in their eye until they look away. Then you have dominance.
Got it.
Okay. It works because they dogs, that's dog language. I'm the one in charge. You are not, and they will respond to it. So, okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Mary says, I just had to put my dog down due to a brain tumor. Oh, it's terrible. Broke my heart. Is he still with me?
Mary, is your dog dark colored? There's a dark colored dog on the other side. It's not a real big one, but there's a dark colored dog. It's not real big. To me, it's not real big. It's maybe 25 pounds or less, but it looks like it. I thought first it was a lab. It's not. It's like, I don't know, fuzzy sort of. It's like a little bit longer hair. Hopefully I'm not picking up another dog that you had, but yeah, there's dog. They stay. Well, I know that for a fact, my dogs, this is my third golden retriever. And I've had 3 collies. Collies and golden retrievers' personalities are similar, so I just am attracted to them. Yep. Anyway, one day my friend who's psychic, she's I haven't seen her in a long time. She misses me. I miss her. She's got dementia. Said, why did I just see a golden retriever walk through the house? And I laughed. I said, that's got to be my first golden retriever was named Dakota. And we had to put him down. He had cancer. My second one had cancer also. They have a tendency to get that. And I knew that they're there. And they wait for us to come. Yeah. When you cross over, you'll have 100 animals. I'm guessing even chickens. Some of my chickens are my pets. They'll be all over the place. So I think I'll have fun.
Garnett says, hi, guys. How does the number of planets affect it, i.e. Pluto?
How does the number of planets affect? It depends, Garnett, how it's sitting. Do you mean in your planet? What is your planet Pluto in? Okay, because there's different ways. Okay, so the Pluto planet, it'll be, you get like all the houses in the in the Milky Way, galaxy, yeah. Anyway, everything will have one position, and then Pluto might be somewhere else too. Mm-hmm. So you have to understand that. So here, I'll show you, because I am learning. See, the best way to learn about this is to do your own chart.
Yeah.
Think about it. Because then See, my Pluto is in, it looks like my Pluto's in Mercury.
There you go.
So that means my Pluto, did I say Mercury? I meant Capricorn. Sorry. I'm like mistalking.
Yeah.
My Pluto's in Capricorn, and and that means I'm down to earth. Like it's because I'm an earth sign, and it appears a lot. It's funny. It's like that. So
yeah.
Okay.
Mary said her dog was a cream-colored chow.
I saw it. You know what?
That's a fluffy
Mary,
dog.
I saw a darker dog. It must be something that's somebody's that's passed. Think about it. They weren't real big. It was like a terrier, a little bigger. Dark colored dog that like is really significant to you, like connected to you somehow.
Yeah.
So think about it, okay? Because it could be one that's already passed, okay? But I think your other dogs are with them. I think they're all together. I think, okay, because that's what I saw, okay? But I didn't see it. I didn't see the chow. So wait. Mary, would he have chased butterflies? Would that dog have like jumped up at butterflies? Because there's a dog on the other side jumping up and chasing butterflies, not hurting them, but just jumping up. I don't know why I see that, but anyway. So go ahead.
Yeah. Princess says, "Do you see me transforming from my current job to get away from my awful boss?"
Transfer, yeah.
Did I say
okay, here's an interesting one, Princess. I think that awful boss that is transferring, or you're getting away from the boss, but I don't think it's you. I think it's them. There's something. Are they aware what this person's doing? Because I want to say that they are aware at your work what this person is like, and that he's awful to everybody, and that they're sick of him. There's something going on there, but I want to say that you're getting separated. But I don't know if it's you. I think it's him.
She's awful.
Yeah. So yeah. So okay.
Emma says, I am drawn to someone outside of my social circle, friend of a friend. I don't know whether to tell him. His name is Byron. I'm not sure if I'm wasting my time, so was looking for some guidance here.
I don't think it's Emma. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It'll kind of fizzle. And I don't think either one of you are going to put an end to it. It just will, because I don't know if you've got that much in common overall. It's what I'm picking up. Okay. Mary, what dog am I picking up? I'm picking up a dog.
She said no squirrels.
She said squirrels would jump up at squirrels. I'm seeing butterflies too. That's why I had said that, because I want to feel like maybe they're running around with butterflies, because they do on the other side.
Maybe it was a chow that identified as a fuzzy little butterfly jumper. There you go.
Well, the thing is on the other side, it's like a big field of flowers and butterflies, and it's like beautiful. Yeah. And the sun is like different. It looks like brighter than it is here. And it's like this big meadow. It's like the Rainbow Bridge. Yep. Yeah. That's how it looks. So, and I can see a dog jumping up and down. Yeah. So that's why I said that. But there is a dark colored dog also there. So I think about whose dog that is. Okay.
Mel B, good to see you this morning.
Hi, Mel.
I hope you're doing well, Lana. I'm almost done with my portfolio, but I've been feeling a little down lately. Does this mean a new cycle is beginning?
Mel, it's Mercury in retrograde.
Yeah, welcome.
And there's a new moon, and there's been an eclipse. And so you're in a transit. Do something just for you. Go hug a tree. Go take a spa day. Do something. We've only got another week, and we'll be all better. Trust me, I've been a little, it's getting to me a little. So I get it. But I know it's going to end. Yeah. So we'll be okay. Okay.
Lori Hurdle says, moving into a new place, will I enjoy city life?
You are, to a certain point. You're going to like all of the play things and places to do, but you're going to have, I don't know if you're going to like the noise. I don't, and are you in an apartment? I don't know if it's a neighbor. I don't think you're going to enjoy. You need a little more space than what you're going to be going to. So eventually you're going to end up maybe staying and going to a little bit larger apartment or a little bit larger space. Okay.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Nice. JD, good morning. Is there anything I should be concerned about? Thank you in advance.
Oh, JD, that's a very, very broad question. JD, do you have some stomach problems? Like nervous stomach or something? I'm picking up there's something to do with your stomach. Could be from the heat. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know, but okay. This is what kills me about if I'm living in the Midwest. People understand, like, it'll be 35 below here and it'll be 95 degrees. We have extremes of temperature here. And I was down south and I said to somebody, I'm like, well, I'm down south. So I'm up north. And they're like, oh, well, you don't know what it's like when it's down here. I'm like, you're going to tell me I don't know what it's like to be down south when it's 90? It's supposed to be 97 degrees here
June
today.
12th and it's 97 degrees.
97 with an heat index. Yeah. Well, at least it's not raining now. I know you're going to get me about the
That's right.
Drought, but
I think about that every day.
But listen.
We're not summer yet.
But listen, we're down south where it's really, really everything's flooded down south. Like more, like just like I had said it before, but now it's really bad, I guess. Like down to the southern tip of Illinois, like it's bad, like disaster area bad. So
I wish we had some
maybe that's what I picked. I don't know, but June. Yes, we're not out of June yet, that's so right. I still feel like we're gonna get a deluge, like we're gonna get a rainstorm from hell sometime this summer. Like it's gonna flood because it's dry.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just felt that.
JD says, yeah, I eat a lot. And sometimes I go a long time without eating.
Oh, JD, I want you to be careful for your stomach in the next 3-4 months. I don't know. Your stomach feels weird. Just thought I would. I'm not a doctor. It just feels weird.
And she doesn't play one on the radio.
Oh, no, I don't.
That's right. Okay. Mary Jane says, Lana, do you see me taking in / having more animals here?
Yeah. Mary Jane, I feel like there's another cat. Maybe a dog also. Yeah. Not a real big one. But I feel like you're going to. Like they're supposed to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like soulmates. You know, animals can be soulmates, right? Yeah, I feel like, they can be. I want to say it's something like that, though.
Yeah, Lori says, it's a small apartment. She has another question for you. My daughter is starting nursing school. Do you see that going well?
Yes, but she's not going to stay in just nursing. I don't know. She's going to crisscross something. Like she's going to go into orthopedic, or she's going to do something a slightly pediatrics, and in the nursing. It has to do with nursing and healthcare, but it's not quite nursing. Okay.
Yeah. Our good friend Mary says, do you see me getting another dog, and would Prince be happy for me?
Oh God. Yeah. You know, they don't have any ill feelings. They're pure spirit.
Yeah.
You know, they don't, people say, oh, he's jealous. I don't agree with the jealousy thing. I competition for resources maybe, but not jealous. Yeah. It's a little different. So yeah. But yeah, you're going to get another dog, but it's going to take you about 4 months or more of looking and waiting for the right dog to come to you. Okay.
Miss Leonard says, do you see my daughter being able to move back this way down south?
Not for a while. Not for at least a couple years. Okay.
Mel says, I'm actually planning on cleaning my room and scrubbing my bathroom pretty soon. That's cleaning your houses, right?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Michelle, good morning. Says, hi, got on late. How's the cat?
The cat is doing great. Because if you're on my YouTube, you knew I was like in tears. You know how you have, like I told Kent, everybody has a pet that runs the household. Even though you've got all these other pets, that cat, everybody bow that he is the nicest. I'm going to actually put him on YouTube with me once he's got stitches yet, but the stitches are coming out. He still limps a little on the back leg. There was a tear about this far where I had to have stitches. We wonder if there's been damage. He's okay. I knew he was okay because we actually had pain meds for him because it was that bad. And we gave him pain meds, and he ran out to the door and was standing there to be let out. I knew he was going to be okay. Yeah. So it's just a matter of him staying off that foot till it's better, because he wants to jump and run and tear. And I'm trying to keep him down. So I've been putting him in a kennel. Well, then he meows nonstop. And then, it's hard. He's strong-willed. He wants to be outside, and so he can't be. And he's 8 years old, so I'm trying to keep him in more. But
I thought you said we got pain meds for him, and he threw on his shades and started writing songs.
But it's pain med. But it told me that it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
That's good. Strong cat. Yeah. Strong cat.
Yep. Absolutely. 9 lives. There's something to that 9 lives thing.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Well, that's going to put us right 1 minute left on the clock. Another great Saturday morning here, 21.6 The Net. We're humbled, blessed that you guys were able to jump on with us, getting caught in the net. Now, again, if you've missed any part of this episode or any other episodes, you want to find out more about what we've done. We've been at this almost a year. there's a ton of episodes out there.
Next 18th of July. That was on my anniversary, actually.
Yeah.
So
that's my birthday too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You just told me that.
Right.
Duh.
Yeah. So we will look forward to any help y'all can give us too. Lana puts out a lot of energy. She does a lot of work, and this is for you all out there. So you know what? 50 cents, $1, $10, $10 million doesn't matter. Just help her out.
Wish.
Right?
You can go on Anchor and you can pledge like $1.
Anchor.fm, Apple,
anything to help me out.
Anchor.fm.
Because I am making the transition, and people don't understand. I'm retiring, but I'm not collecting a pension yet.
PayPal.me.
So I'm going to be doing this full time, and I've got animals and that I've rescued that I'm paying for. So horses and goats and dogs and cats.
So we're very humbled and blessed that you guys spend a little bit of time with us here on this Saturday. Stay healthy, stay safe, and remember, you can always reach out at www.enchantedskye.com and hang out with her every day. Thanks.
Yep. Bye.